Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So hopefully our subscribers are not too surprised to see two of their favorite content creators on the same video. So obviously this is the Crimson Cure and Sheep Stay Sleep TV, DS1 Ross. If anybody listening is not subscribed to both of us, you need to hit that subscribe button right now.
Right now.
Right now. That's an order. It's a command. Anyway, but we coming to you because we wanted to sort of start a little something that we thought our subscribers might enjoy, which is a little bit of esoteric red pill truth. And I know usually it's either me or Sheep Stay Sleep that touches on certain topics that other content creators may or may not touch. So we thought it would be awesome to come to y'all with something a little bit more, I guess, I don't know, constructed or whatever. And hopefully you guys enjoy this type of content. So, Sheep, I'm handing it off to you, bro.
So first of all, I want to say shout out to the masculine mercenaries. Salute to the matter mercenaries. And I want to say I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully this will be a series, that me and Kendra do because we know that y'all both like our esoteric presentations. So tonight, what we're gonna talk about is it a Stargate or a black hole? And what I mean by is it a Stargate or a black hole? I'm talking about the black woman's womb. The modern day, American black woman, is her womb a Stargate? What is the the spirits that are being incarnated into this plane, the vessel that is coming through, what is it? Is it a Stargate or is it a black hole? And I came up with this because let's just look at the nature of our children. A lot of the majority of black youth, just look at what they represent. Like, for instance, nowadays, you have, for the most part, you have the women, the young girls, they're savages, and the black men, the young black men who are supposed to be the warriors, they're being killed off. But where did these spirits come from? What is making these children come out this way? It has to be something going on with the black woman's womb, spiritually.
Just to add to that, when we talk about this conception, birth, pregnancies on a spiritual level, a lot of things factor into it. First of all, conception, the environment, the mindset of the woman, the mindset of the man that she's with at that time, and all of the different external factors that might be affecting the two people's emotions or mental state actually play a part in the energy that is used to um, to conceive a child. And this is actually one of the reasons why um, different spiritual systems, religions, or whatever you want to call it, actually mandate that the two potential parents actually have some sort of uh, connection with each other and responsibility towards each other, so that there will be no thing like fear or resentment or any of the illicit things or illicit types of situations where two people might find themselves being together and possibly conceiving a child. So when we think about that, we think about two people being married or being, I'm just using married as the conventional way to say that, two people being together in a serious manner. Those people are not hiding from the community. Those people are not sneaking around. There is no type of negative attachment, energy wise or spiritually wise, to their being together sexually. And so, with those types of external factors removed, you potentially or idealistically, you are creating an environment that is the most hospitable to conceiving a child. And we understand that different stressors and things like that actually physically affect the physical child, because when a woman is pregnant, doctors always advise that she's not under any particular types of stress or doing anything that would cause her to go through any mental changes that might actually affect the viability of that pregnancy. So when we say it's a stargate or a black hole, and when we talk about the conception of a child, those factors are very heavy, because when we think about how we're conceiving children in this day and age, it's in any type of way. People are having sex in the back of a club. They are having each other, and they're illicit. I'm with my friend's husband, or whatever the case may be. We're sneaking around. There's all this other stuff. I'm tricking, or whatever the case may be. All of these illicit energies and really what would amount to demonic type energies and settings and situations are going on at the time of conception. So we have to understand that those things interfere with the child itself. The child, when it is conceived under these circumstances, actually intake some of that energy, because the mother is embodying the energy as well.
Exactly. And to touch on that, what to touch on the whole concept of conception. Conception initially begins as thoughts. So what a lot of women have to be careful with is they have to be careful of how they perceive themselves in life in general, even before they even conceive a child. Because if a woman who has low self-esteem, low self-worth, and she's also in an environment, like you said, that has all those negative factors to her will attach itself to her trauma. And then in turn, when she gets in a relationship with a guy and she's pregnant now and she's going through the emotions of being pregnant and shit like that, a lot of those negative and demonic energies that were stored is going to come out. And even if it doesn't come out maybe on the dad, if she's strong enough to internalize it, it's going to come out in the child, because conception begins in the mind first. And this is why, I always say, man, we got to heal before we build, because people have to understand that if you have a negative perception of yourself, negative things and negative people and negative situations is always going to attach themselves to you at the end of the day. So when women are saying, oh, I keep getting with these messed up dudes, it is because that is who you are attracting spiritually. See,
Mm-hmm.
non-verbally, you are calling these men to you. And really, what a lot of women don't understand is you're actually calling those men to you so those men can show you who you are. And once you see who you are through the guy you're constantly picking, then you would want to be better, then your choices would be better. But I hear a lot of guys say, oh, black women just need to choose better. They need to choose better. But how do they choose better? And
Yeah,
the way that they do that is, first, they have to change the trajectory of how they see themselves.
right. And just touching on that, the choosing better, and I've actually touched on that before. Um, a woman can only choose, and a man for that matter, can only choose what resonates with them. So it's not necessarily about just, oh, I can pick a better guy. You can't do that if you're not prepared to be better, if you're not prepared to be on on that level. It's really the equivalent of a welterweight trying to fight a heavyweight. How is possible? If you're a welterweight, you're not gonna be able to fight a heavyweight. It's just not, So you can't just, oh, let's just pick a bigger fighter. Let's pick a better opponent. No, you have to pick what's in your weight class. So if you are at a lower weight class, and it is what it is, if you want to go up, then you have to do the work to go up. It just doesn't happen at the snap of a finger. But going back to a little bit touching on the conception and that being something in the mind, one of the things is that a lot of women think of when they conceive, or if they even think that they've conceived, is an abortion. So one of the things that they think of is death for whatever life might be growing inside of them as a possibility of an outcome. So we have to understand, especially speaking as a woman to women, you have to understand that your physical womb is the physical manifestation of your vessel. It's the physical manifestation of your vessel. Your vessel is also inside of you, the core of who you are. So if we have not cleaned that, if that inner vessel is not whole, and it is full of corruption, it is full of all of these things. We have mental illness that we don't cope with. You self-medicate, you drink, you smoke, you have sex to try to cope with yourself, and all of these other things. This is not this is not how we are supposed to be bringing life into the world, because many women bring children into the world not because they want to bring life. Many times it's a mistake, or the very conception of the child is done as a manipulation tactic of some sort. So that energy actually goes into the child itself. And when a woman like that has the child, she doesn't really have the connection that a mother would have to that child. And thus, she does not raise the child in the best possible manner. She doesn't give the best parts of herself to her child either. And that doesn't help the different situations and circumstances that she brings the child up in.
Exactly. And see, that's all, you know, relative to a woman doing that inner work. See, and this is why, too, a lot of black women need to focus on, instead of running out here in the world and trying to compete with men, they need to focus on their femininity and their own issues. Because a lot of black women today are not good mothers because they haven't got in touch with their feminine side
Mm-hmm.
because they think being a mother is going to work, paying the bills, keeping the house clean, um, making sure we got money for when the kids go to college and all of that. So when a woman has to live a linear lifestyle, basically a masculine lifestyle, on top of her femininity being suppressed and stolen away from her from young due to trauma, that furthers um stunts the growth of her emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So when these women have children in them, they're not only are they physically feeding and nourishing their children with food, but those thoughts and those feelings, they're feeding off of that too. And this is why you get a lot of children today that just come out, with certain things. It's because of, like you said, the emotional state. But a lot of times, Black women choose to not do the real work. And this is what turns their wombs into black holes. Because then what happens is a woman will then surrender and give in to the dark mother and use her vessel as a magul manufacturing plant. That is what her womb becomes, where her womb just continues to push out maggles and hyenas over and over and over and over and over, and she doesn't care what happens to her children. This is why you see a lot of children today that are very wayward. Like it's normal to see a group of 7, 8 year olds just running around outside. You don't know where they live and where the hell their parents are,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, they had the children to sacrifice,
Right.
and their reward for not raising them and sacrificing them and leaving them for this world to eat them up and to become demons themselves is the food stamps, the Section 8, and all that shit. Because if they weren't able to get that because a man is around, a man would check that shit. And a man will actually set those demons in order. Or she wouldn't have never had a chance to procreate. I mean, well, she wouldn't have never had a chance to have children. You see, but that's a whole nother story with guys and how they don't understand and see who these women are. Because a lot of these women who have black holes in their tights that they call vaginas, they're very attractive, very.
Exactly.
And the dark mother loves to play on the real attractive ones a lot harder because the dark mother feeds their vanity. This is why I did that stream. Don't feed a woman's vanity, because that's what the dark mother does. She promised them, oh, you want to be famous? Oh, yeah, since you was a little girl, you wanted to be on TV, right? Well, you're going to have to give up your kids if you want to be on TV. You're going to have to leave them.
Right.
Fuck love. You want this bread. You want fame. And this is what happens.
Right. So all in all, you know, she took the position as a black hole. I take the position as a stargate, which is a portal from one place or one dimension or one world to the next. And I think that women are always stargates, but not all women are the same kind of stargate. That all depends on what comes through your portal all the time, which defines what kind of gate you are. And unfortunately, many times, especially in our community, as it were, the women are not conceiving these children even in love at all. They are almost always conceived for selfish reasons, for some type of monetary gain or benefit, some type of way to manipulate and finesse a man or situation that they are in or want to be in or want to get out of. So, again, when women conceive children with these things in mind, that all dictates what she does with those children while they're in her womb and after they're here in this world. And just to touch on what she says about the little children running around, that's actually really, really common. And you wonder at 7 or 8 and it's getting dark outside, why are these little kids running up and down the street? No one calls for them, no one comes to see about them. Anything can happen to them. And there's no one, not even, when you look on the block and say, oh, okay, the people on the porch, them kids probably belong to them. You don't see that anymore. That's because it's of no real consequence what the children go through. I've heard some women say, I can always have another one, as if the children themselves are disposable. So,
And that's because they actually are, because to to a lot of these women, they don't even look at them as children. They look at them as as basically sacrifices for them to get what they want at the end of the day. Because see, a lot of women know and understand the system. So they like, okay, well, all I gotta do is get pregnant, and every year I could get $10,000 back in taxes for doing nothing. I could do this, I could do that. And this is how a lot of these gynocrats are looking at children nowadays. As just look at it. You from Chicago, right, Katie?
mm-hmm.
You from Chicago. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of, back in slavery times, the people who came from the South and moved to Chicago, they said that a lot of, incest and inbreeding was going on,
Mm.
where a lot of the Chicago residents, come from. And I look at that and I say, damn, if you come from inbreeding, that's you're not gonna be normal mentally. And this is something that is normal in the South. I've been in the South now for some years. And this is a normal thing.
Mm.
This is a normal thing where you have cousins having children with cousins, sisters having this girl having she got a baby by her first cousin.
Mm.
This is normal. This is normal, and it's normal because this is what the women want. This is what the women want. They do what they want and they run shit. And this is what happens. And then what you see, and this is why I say it's a black hole, because what you see is these women who partook in all this debauchery over their life. Once their children are grown and doing whatever they doing, those women deteriorate.
Mm-hmm.
They deteriorate. They deteriorate. Nobody want to be around them. The children barely want to be around. They deteriorate, and that is because once you can no longer feed the dark mother, she gets rid of it.
Right. Right. Mainly because it takes a tremendous amount of energy to exude that much negativity in the first place. Negative
Exactly.
energy takes a lot greater toll on you than positive energy, which is why stress is so destructive to the body, because that's a form of negative energy. So, so I hold that it's a Stargate. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
well, make sure y'all like the video. Definitely leave your comments and let us know what y'all think. Is it a Stargate or a black hole? Like I said, and let us know that, and also let us know how y'all felt about this, and should we continue? So,
Definitely, definitely give us you guys feedback, because this will continue or it will stop depending upon the feedback that we get or don't get on our little collabo that we're doing. I think it's dope. She thinks it's dope. We think it's dope. And we think that you guys would enjoy it. So let us know. If you enjoy it, like the video, let us know in the comment section. If you don't enjoy it, let us know in the comment section. But don't dislike the video though. Still like the video. Put a thumbs up on it. So we want you to like, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the links in the description box as well.
yep,
All right.
and we'll see you on the next one. Shout
See you
out
on
to
the
the
next one.
masculine mercenaries. Salute to my madam mercenary. We're gonna catch y'all on the next one.
All
Peace.
right. Peace out.